What are we doing today?
We're talking about the Disney Plus Marvel TV shows and which ones are best and which ones aren't.
Yeah. Before we get started, I want to say that I had a really good time objectifying fake men last week.
Yeah?
I keep thinking about that podcast. Yeah, I want to say Veronica. Thanks Veronica for showing up. That was just a all around fun. We got to do that again sometime.
That was another fun one. This is good. We've had two like really kind of fun, just having fun episodes in a row. Yeah, we need to do more of that.
Yeah, there's lots for us to do. I was actually thinking that at some point maybe we could start getting into some Star Trek. I don't know how you feel about Star Trek.
I mean, yeah, we can talk about that. I don't hate it.
Do you know you don't know anything about it?
I don't go super deep on any of this stuff. I think the deepest I've gone on anything would have been Lord of the Rings, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's been so long since I read that, and
that might be something
at this point.
That might be something we need to do at some point. I would love to watch those movies again.
Yeah.
Maybe make my wife watch them because she hates them. That'd be the best.
Yeah, see, my wife loves them. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're ranking the Marvel Disney shows. Now these aren't going to be the Netflix shows. It's just going to be the original ones that Marvel made. And there are 6 of them, so we're going to rank them as far as the worst ones to the best ones.
I have a feeling that we both have the same worst show.
Okay, let's do it. That's number 6, which
number
is the worst.
6. The worst of the Disney Plus Marvel shows is What If?
That's not mine.
It's not yours. Wow.
No.
Okay.
You tell me why What If is number 6 on your list.
I mean, it had a few good episodes. But there were it was mostly bad episodes. And I think that it wasted the opportunity that it had to tell stories that are completely unrelated to the MCU that we've seen and veer off in directions, maybe pull in some characters from the comics that aren't even planned to be in the MCU. Or are far down the road for the MCU. So I just think the fact that in my mind it squandered the opportunity it had puts it at the bottom of the list.
I mean, this is the complaint we had when we watched the show. It's like they have all this different stuff they could have pulled into, but instead they only dealt with the movie assets, and that really limited them for What If. Like we only saw certain characters.
Right, and like with the Marvel Zombies, like I read the comic, that was a perfect opportunity. You know, there were no zombies in the MCU up until that What If episode. So they didn't need to stick with the MCU that we'd seen already. They could have gone more in line with the comics, and I think it would have been much better had they done that. But like they could have told more interesting stories. I didn't need to see what would happen if Thor was a party animal.
The absolute worst episode ever. Yeah. I actually was watching that thinking this is terrible. It was actually really, really bad.
Like, so I'm shocked to hear what your worst one is, because if you're saying something's worse than the series that had What If Thor was a party animal, okay.
There's a reason why What If is not at the bottom, but I will give you my number. Are you ready for my number 6?
I'm ready for your number 6.
It's Hawkeye.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And here's why.
Yeah, you gotta explain this.
I was thinking about the shows, and I was thinking about how much I enjoy them, and I also thought about their value. And when you look at Hawkeye, I just never really felt that show completely knew what it was trying to do. I mean,
come on, buddy. That's my what's their name?
The Tracksuit Mafia.
Tracksuit Mafia. Yeah, that was my Tracksuit Mafia impersonation.
I mean, I think what they were definitely trying to do was they were passing the baton from Clint to Kate Bishop. And I thought they did a pretty good job with that. Because like now we can get movies with Kate Bishop, and like if you look at all these shows, and if you look at all the different movies we've watched recently, it's all about Marvel, the Disney Plus moving the assets from one set of actors to a new set of actors, right? And they're really trying to do that. And I think it's successful. But I mean, some of the stuff some of the choices they made just weren't really working for me. I think when you look at how they treated the Kingpin, I just didn't like that at all. I didn't like the last episode that much. And so, I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but will I watch it again? I don't think so.
I mean,
And
what was wrong with how they treated Kingpin? What's wrong with that?
Well, I mean, it's just if you watch you've watched all the Daredevil episodes, right? Season 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Like he's just not. He's a different character in the show. Like he's just not as menacing. Like he's just not as like vicious.
He's the same character. You just don't see that much of him in Hawkeye.
Yeah, but I mean, they allude to the fact that he might have got killed at the end. So. Yeah. I don't know. I just like when I watch it, I'm like,
I just didn't like the Hawaiian shirt.
Right? Yeah, I'm not. I didn't. The hat and the Hawaiian shirt wasn't a big fan of.
That's like straight from the comics, though.
Yeah, but okay. So if Disney wanted to really make Hawkeye, the Kingpin of Hawkeye, really good, they could have made it a little more graphic and really pushed it. But instead, they kind of tried to keep it PG light. When the Kingpin character that we saw is from Daredevil, which is like TV mature, and so again, Disney doesn't really know what they want to do. They enjoyed bringing him in, but they should have brought him in earlier. It's just all kinds of different mistakes, and so again, I feel good with saying that Hawkeye's my number 6. Now remember, there's only 6. There's only 6 shows. So even if I say Hawkeye is my least favorite, it's not the worst necessarily. It's just like the one I'm least a big fan of.
I'm just shocked that it's below What If. I mean,
well, I'm going to explain why What If is where it's at in a little bit.
Okay. All right.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Wow. Mine is also Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's actually really interesting.
Wow,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay. Tell me why it's your number 5.
I was just thinking back through these and what I remember about them, what the story they were trying to tell. And I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier had its moments. It was pretty good. It was better than What If, in my opinion. But I just don't feel like it was really needed. I feel like we could have Sam Wilson as Captain America without Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He was set up in the movies to become the new Captain America. We could have done that. I just feel like a lot of these, I feel like they don't have enough episodes. For Falcon and Winter Soldier, I feel like they had so many episodes for that transition, and it was kind of a waste.
Yeah, for me, so if you think about when the Falcon and Winter Soldier was greenlit, it was around like probably 2019, 2020. And so if you look at like some of the issues with race we had in our country, it made sense for Marvel to make a show where Captain America transitions to a black man and how we can talk about race in that context. But the show never completely committed to it. It kind of touched on it, but it never went full blown. We're going to talk about race in America, and
it's kind of like a B or a C plot, right, of the show.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Sam Wilson's speech at the very last episode, that speech was good, but there could have been more of that. They could have explored it far more, and they just kind of really didn't want to, and so that was kind of a problem. And one of the biggest problems is we knew that Falcon was going to become Captain America. Everybody knew that was going to happen. So it's a foregone conclusion. So so a lot of the surprises were gone. And there's people talking about how the story was changed because in the original plot of the script, those people, I forget what they're called. What was the villains called? The organization called?
They had a really weird, like cheesy name, like the hand something.
Anyway. Those people, they spread a pandemic. They were spreading the virus, but Disney didn't want to have a story published where you're dealing with a virus when we're all dealing with a virus, and so they had to change the plot and stuff. And so again, I mean, when I watched Falcon, the other day I watched one of the fight scenes again where the Winter Soldier and Falcon are fighting the John Walker for the shield. And I thought that fight scene was really well done. I kind of feel like they could have done more with that. I was kind of hungry to see more Sam Wilson fights because I just wanted to see how he would be as Captain America. But we're going to get a movie at some point, so it's fine. But yeah, I think number 5 feels pretty good. It's Falcon and Winter Soldier hasn't aged well, and so again, it was fun when we watched it, but it has some issues.
Right. Yep. Okay.
All right. I'm curious what your 4 is, because I'm looking at the 4 we have left, and I'm super curious what you're going to put. I think I know what your 4 is. Go ahead.
All right. Here's my number 4. I think it might be a surprise. I don't know. We'll see. It's Moon Knight.
Wow, that is surprising. Okay. Wow.
Okay. What do you think it was going to be?
I thought it was going to be Hawkeye.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, it's Moon Knight.
Oh wow. Moon Knight was in the middle at number 4. Huh.
Yeah, Moon Knight's in the middle at number 4. I think Moon Knight started strong. Like there was a lot of great direction in the show, great cinematography in the show. But I think I don't think it nailed the landing. I think that was kind of rushed. And I mean, it's a show called Moon Knight. And we really didn't get a whole lot of Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's kind of where it is. I do think that I was really impressed with the cinematography and the direction in the first few episodes. And I felt like the last several episodes just went kind of more like a generic, nothing special about the direction or the cinematography. It's just kind of generic superhero stuff in the latter episodes.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about Moon Knight later because it's higher on my list, so I'll wait. My number 4 was What If.
You gotta explain this. I don't get it.
Okay, here's why. We beat up What If pretty hard when it came out, and we both just couldn't stand it. But there's a couple of different reasons why I gave it some love. And without What If, without that series, we wouldn't get Captain Carter. We wouldn't have gotten the Doctor Strange beats from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We wouldn't have got some stuff from Spider-Man No Way Home. What If opened the door to the multiverse and opened the door to some new characters and some new ideas? So
didn't Loki open the door to the multiverse?
Yes, but Loki didn't have Captain Carter. Loki did not establish that Doctor Strange could be. Because if you watch the Doctor Strange episode from What If and then watch Multiverse of Madness, they're so close together that it's very odd to me how close together they were. It's almost to the point where obviously whoever worked on that probably worked on some other script ideas, whatever. But that right there, like just the Doctor Strange episode alone, and then the success of Multiverse of Madness helps me lift What If to number 4 slot. It just I would recommend certain episodes of What If to people before I would recommend Hawkeye or Moon Knight. But
that's easy because you can pick out like 2 episodes to recommend. Yeah, because they're so distinct. You know?
But I also think that if you look at the utility of What If, it works as far as like it's cheaper to make because it's a cartoon, but you get to float some different ideas, and then Marvel can see what's successful, and then maybe use that to live action. I think it's smart, and so it's no surprise that they're going to make another What If series, and I'm hoping that they'll do something again, like give us some more material that we can use for the movies. I mean, I'm curious about how they want to work it, but it's hard for me to say that What If is the worst, even though there were some terrible episodes. The good episodes they did pull off did change just the Marvel Cinematic movie scenarios enough that it pushed it down to 4 for me.
I'm just hearing you say that you like What If because of the Doctor Strange and the multiverse.
No, that one episode was enough to bring it to a 4. Yeah, I agree with that.
Wow. Okay. All right.
What's your number 3?
Also controversial. My number 3 is WandaVision.
Wow, that is super wrong. That's the worst. That's the worst place
not.
You can put
it.
It's
right where it belongs. It's right where it belongs. It's a good show, but it's not the best.
Okay, all right. Okay, what brings it to a 3?
All right, so WandaVision started out great, very creative, very different. But I did like it better when I rewatched it, but still, I think it's one of the shows where they didn't nail the ending. And I think it was too rushed at the end. They could have either, I probably wouldn't have liked it because I like the very creative stuff at the beginning where they were, paying homage to different TV shows. But they could have either given us a few more episodes and let the ending breathe more, or they could have spread out the story a little bit more evenly. And also just the half of it felt like you're watching maybe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or your typical MCU movie, and half of it felt like its own thing,
Yes, that's a solid critique. Yeah, I agree. My number 3 is Moon Knight. I enjoyed it simply because of Oscar Isaac. He really, like, the stuff between Mark Spector and Stephen Grant, I really enjoyed those two characters. They might be the two, Stephen Grant and Mark Spector might be my two favorite Marvel characters at this point, besides, like, Spider-Man. I would love to see a scene where Mark Spector meets, like, Daredevil, or Mark Spector meets, like, other characters and have them talk. I think Oscar Isaac loves that role, you can tell, and I think he loved the series in general. We got different scenarios. We weren't in America. We were in London, and we were in Egypt. We talked about Egyptian gods. We had different cultural notes. We got introduced to a brand new superhero character, the first Egyptian superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Some interesting ideas about morality and evil and good. And it's just like when I watched the show, I felt like it was trying to do more than normal, and it was working hard on a different level. So I would probably watch Moon Knight again, without a doubt. I would watch that again.
Yeah, I mean our Moon Knight rankings aren't that far apart. They're just one off from each other.
Okay, all right. So what's your number 2?
Number 2 is Hawkeye.
That's wrong too. That's just the wrong place. Wait, what? Wait, okay.
I enjoyed it a lot. It was a good show. It's like, we all need some levity in our lives these days. I think Hawkeye brought that to us. I think Hawkeye did a pretty good job telling the story and pacing the story as well. I think it did a better job than everything below it, as far as sticking the landing. And it was a fun show. I liked it a lot. There were some great, like, one of the fight scenes in Hawkeye was probably one of the best fight scenes out of the MCU. It's when Hawkeye and Hawkeye are fighting inside of the warehouse where they're captured by the tracksuit mafia.
I also would say the scene where Kate Bishop is fighting Echo, and then Yelena's fighting Hawkeye on the rooftop, and there's like 4 different people fighting each other at once.
You like that more than me. That was a pretty good one, but I like that one in the where
that was good.
The one inside the warehouse where Hawkeye's like, he's doing all this stuff. He's fighting Echo for the first time. There was some cool stuff in there.
No, that's as far as fight scenes, Hawkeye beats Moon Knight, no problem. But I just have some issues with some of the other stuff in Hawkeye. But yeah, that's fine. I think your number 2 makes a lot of sense. My number 2, yeah. Will I ever want to watch it again? Like, when there's some scenes from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Well, it's a Christmas show, so you might want to watch it next Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I can pitch that to my family. Like, it's a Christmas TV show, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Won't work. My number 2 is Loki. Without a doubt, Loki is my number 2.
Okay.
Man, we had such a fun time talking about that show.
Yeah,
we really did.
Yeah, we
did. I love every episode. Felt like an event. It felt like something new was going to be introduced. It felt like we were trying to unravel a mystery. The actors all took the role seriously. Just the epic finale of the last episode felt really heavy. Now it's just so good. Like I can't really describe how good Loki was. And I'm super excited that we're getting another season. And if you look at the list, I can only think of Loki, Moon Knight. That's the only 2 shows I think deserve a sequel, right? Like, this is the only 2 shows that were made that I feel like we have to see season 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Right. Your number 2. Oh, we already said. Okay, so your number one is Loki as well. Go ahead.
Is Loki. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Wow, that's crazy. That's your number one. That's wild.
I think it was the best. It was very interesting. Every episode was like, I was ready for every episode.
I looked forward to every episode. Like every week, I was like, I can't wait till Loki Day. What day did it come out? Wednesday? It came out Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah. It started the whole Wednesday thing. Yeah. I mean, I was always looking forward to that. I was always looking forward to talking to you about it, more so than any other show on here.
I agree.
The ending, the pacing at the ending was worrying me. And they did something very unconventional with the last episode. Maybe some people wouldn't like it, but I think it worked very well. And without Jonathan Majors, maybe it wouldn't have worked very well, but they had him. So I just thought the very dialogue heavy final episode was a really great way to end it.
Yeah. And if you look at Loki, they had that show had one theme, which is, can a person change? Right? Mm-hmm. And that was the whole theme. And if you look at storytelling, that's what it's supposed to be. It's it has to be a short idea, 2 or 3 words, and you have to be able to articulate it really quickly, and somebody has to get it like that. And so Loki is the only show on this list that really did that, as far as can a person change? And that's the question. And so when you watch the show, you're constantly trying to do that. And yeah, it's a fantastic show. Just I'm just thinking about the interactions between him and Sylvie. That one time they were on that planet together and it was about to explode. Mm-hmm. They were kind of connecting as a group. But we had those conversations about how can Loki be Loki if he's a woman, and that was kind of fun. So yeah, that show did a lot really heavy work. It was really good. I kind of feel like I should move it down to number 1, but I'm going to keep my number 1, which is WandaVision.
Yeah, new WandaVision was your number 1. Yep.
It's just the first 3 episodes were so creative.
Yeah, absolutely.
So risky, so well done. Elizabeth Olsen did such an amazing job with that role. And I always think about that show over and over again. It makes what happened during the Multiverse of Madness feel worse to me, because it's kind of they took that character and kind of dumped on it. But when I was watching WandaVision the entire time, I felt like I was watching something interesting, something risky, something engaging. And I will constantly say that I was super surprised that Disney Plus greenlit this and made it. This show could have bombed, but it didn't bomb. It was extremely successful. It pushed ticket sales for Multiverse of Madness because people wanted to see what happened to Wanda, right?
Yeah.
So again, super well done show.
What do you think about the back half of it?
I mean, I understand your critiques about the back half of it, but I think some of the acting definitely saved a lot of those things. And at the end of the day, these Marvel shows have to work to keep the train moving. And so you have to constantly keep doing things to keep it going. And so, yeah, they had no choice but to do that at the end. Would I have preferred something more abstract or more artful? Yeah, I think I would have. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's when at some point when people take the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe and start putting all the pieces together and telling people you need to watch this before you watch that. WandaVision is a show that you definitely have to watch if you want to understand more about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The other shows, I mean, I think Loki's one of those shows. I think maybe Falcon and Winter Soldier could be, but maybe What If? But Hawkeye, Moon Knight, maybe I don't know. But WandaVision is one of those.
You didn't need to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier to get who the new Captain America is.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Maybe
no, I think you're right.
Introduction to yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think No, I think you're right. I think that you could just have watched Avengers Endgame, and then the next big movie you see Sam Wilson as Captain America, and you'd be like, oh, okay, it's not. Yeah. I didn't miss anything. But WandaVision is something when you look at. If you have to watch WandaVision in order to understand Multiverse of Madness, and to help you understand the Multiverse of Madness, you also have to watch Spider-Man: No Way Home. You have to watch What If, or at least a couple episodes of What If, and you definitely have to watch Loki, right? And so we're talking about a couple of different shows that you can't remove. Versus,
I'm kind of surprised that Multiverse of Madness elevated What If for you. I'm kind of surprised it didn't drag down WandaVision for you.
Yeah, I mean, this at the end of the day, because of how they treated Wanda. But at the end of the day, I have to respect what they wanted to do with the character, and like, I might not agree with it, but they did it. So, they didn't ask me about it. So again, I'm not going poo poo on their storytelling, and I'm hoping that in the future we get to see some other things that help the story move forward. But
it's definitely a roller coaster of a character arc for Wanda.
Exactly. I mean, how can I put this right? At some point, when we're like probably like 20 years from now, I'm going to get to my TV and I'm going to boot up a bunch of Marvel episodes. I'm going to watch them in sequence, and it's going to be great to watch all the different things they did. And I definitely don't agree with everything they did, but I can't disagree with the fact they're making this monster, and it's working out.
Awesome.
I don't think our lists are that. I think you're completely wrong that WandaVision isn't number one. But I think
you're completely wrong that Loki isn't number one.
I think your Hawkeye ranking should be. I think Hawkeye should definitely be moved down. I think you don't like Hawkeye as much as you think you do. I just don't.
It's a fun show. It's a fun show. Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to just enjoy things for the fun they give you.
You can also tell that if you look at like the evolution, Moon Knight is a better show because they did all these other shows first, right? And so I think Marvel knows and Disney knows how to do these sequential shows, which gives me a lot of hope for Miss Marvel that's coming out, for the Daredevil show.
Miss Marvel is so the creator for Miss Marvel was the executive story editor or writer for Loki. So after finding that out, I am hyped for Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Which is the next thing we're talking about, right?
Yeah. When does it come out?
June 8th, I think, is the first episode. Wow.
Dude, it's hard to keep up. It's extremely hard.
Packed first half of the year for Marvel.
It's extremely hard to keep up with all this stuff.
Yeah.
But that is our list. I have a little news we can abuse a tad bit.
Okay.
If you're ready.
All right. Let's hit it.
You ready? I don't have the show notes for that. I got to put these in the show notes. But apparently, Disney released their files for She-Hulk, and apparently it looks better than it did on YouTube. So apparently the YouTube trailer of She-Hulk didn't look too good as far as CGI. But when Disney Plus released it, it's uncompressed, so we get to see a little bit more. I haven't watched it yet.
A little bit more detail, just in the one shot they showed of her face. Yeah.
The biggest problem is that she's not jacked. That's the biggest problem. Like until she gets like jacked up, it's still. I got.
She's more muscular than I am, but still,
it's like
She-Hulk, right?
Well, you can kind of tell. I mean, you can kind of tell that whoever said don't make her so muscular, it's like it's like having some issues with like gender and misogyny. There's millions of women in America alone that work out and have these huge muscles, and like we appreciate. And Natalie Portman in the Thor trailer, was people were like freaking out that she was so jacked. So I don't understand what's going on.
Brie Larson. She's shredded, man.
Yeah, she's super shredded. So again, we'll just say a new Thor trailer was revealed. I don't know if you watched it yet. We don't have to watch it. But you do get to see the villain played by what's his face? I totally forgot his name.
Batman guy.
Yeah. What's his name?
They know who we're talking about. They know who we're talking about.
Yeah, but we should know too. Come on, this is our job. It's not Edward Norton. Why would I say Edward Norton?
It's an Edward Norton type guy.
What? Oh my goodness! I gotta look it up. I'm such an idiot.
Okay. He was the Batman.
Yeah. Can you do the voice for us real quick?
I am Batman.
That's pretty good. Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale. Yeah.
Yeah,
He looks good.
Yeah. What's your bit? Can you do a Bane voice?
No. I'll break my vocal cords trying to do that.
I could do one, but I'm kind of embarrassed now. I don't know why.
Do it. I did Batman. You can do Bane.
Okay. You think darkness is your ally? I was raised in the dark. Molded by it. I love that movie. I absolutely love Bane and Batman and Dark Knight Rises. I absolutely love that movie.
All right, yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
It's too late. You can't edit it out. It's just how it is.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
No, that trailer looked pretty good.
Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes. Yeah. There's one thing in the trailer that I thought was interesting. Natalie Portman, Thor, she jumps and she takes the hammer, Mjolnir, and Mjolnir breaks up into its small pieces. Did you see that?
So she kind of like shoots that part.
She kind of shoots it at them. So I'm really curious what's going on with Mjolnir. So I'm curious about what's going on with that. Huh. 2 more things, real quick.
Yep. Okay.
Early reactions of Miss Marvel are positive. Apparently, people really like the show.
I'm looking forward to it.
Let me read. Here's a quote. This is from Christopher Murphy. I'm not sure who he is. He says, "The Miss Marvel pilot episode caught me by surprise in the best ways. It's as close as we've come in the MC to a comic book pages coming to life. It's inventive, bright, and ton of fun. My strong feelings that teens are going to fall in love with the show. I know my kids will. Wow, what a hit! That's good." And you know what? I kind of feel like they need a show kind of aimed at children, like teens.
Yeah.
Just like we've got all these shows we just listed. Right. They're not super like teen friendly, but like hopefully Miss Marvel will be. That's good. Last but not least, the Russo brothers. They haven't said no that they won't do any more Marvel stuff. So the Russo brothers directed, they did Captain America, Winter Soldier, they did Captain America Civil War, and they did Avengers Infinity and Avengers Endgame. I don't know who can direct an ensemble cast of that size besides them. And that would be amazing if they would do the next big Marvel movies. Oh my goodness, that'd be awesome.
I know 2 people that can direct ensembles of that size.
Who?
James Gunn and Taika Waititi.
Yeah. Do I want them to do?
They both do a pretty good job with it.
I can see Taika,
especially James Gunn.
I'm not a big fan of James Gunn. I'm just not. I'm just like I'm kind of done with him.
He does lots of good stuff with ensemble casts and other. We both are kind of down on the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but first one was awesome. One of the best MCU movies. He did Suicide Squad, also an ensemble cast, handled it pretty well. And then he did that Peacemaker show, which had, there's a lot of main characters in it. It's not quite to the level of a Marvel movie, but he still did a great job there.
I would like to see, you know who I think is going to do it is Sam Raimi. I think he's going to get the gig.
Yeah, he could do it.
Yeah. Because Multiverse of Madness was so much fun, I think they're gonna say, okay, you get the next big thing.
Yeah.
You know who I would like to see is Peter Jackson do something. Where is he at? What's he doing?
He's probably just chilling, enjoying his money.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
His life. Yeah.
Yeah, I would enjoy my money and my life. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I would enjoy my life because I have a lot of money.
That's it. That's it.
That is the news that you can abuse. So I had beers with one of my friends today before the podcast, and he said that he listened to our podcast and he shared it with only 2 people, not
only
3.
2. Come on, step it up.
Yeah. So Rob, my friend Rob, if you listen to this, you have to share this with 3 people this time.
Yeah, at least 3 people. Come on, do it correct.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, follow, subscribe, share. Do it.
Follow, subscribe, share, tweet, Facebook,
Insta.
Put notes. Make little QR codes and then put it on people's windshields on their cars.
Tag some stuff with it.
Yeah, spray paint a QR code on a big mural somewhere outside.
Right.
Those are all things that we
whisper it to people too.
Those are all things that we should be doing. We should be doing those things.
I'm trying to get in touch with Banksy, but he's hard. It's hard to do that.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, I mean that would be amazing. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about Miss Marvel.
So okay, Miss Marvel's coming up next, and also we have Thor coming up soon. Mm-hmm. What else do we have on the books?
That's it. A lot. That's what we got on the books: Miss Marvel and Thor.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Miss Marvel too.
There's something right after that too. So there's always stuff right around the corner.
She-Hulk She-Hulk's gonna come out right after Thor probably. So wow, we're just gonna non-stop.
We're just gonna keep rolling, man. Just keep rolling.
We're going to do this until they tell us.
That's why you've got to subscribe. That's why you've got to subscribe. Yes. You gotta follow and you gotta share because it's just gonna keep coming.
And do it now while it's still free. At some point, we might start charging. So
that's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Miss Marvel.